Hi everybody. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Elke Feuer. I'm an author and a fiction book coach. Now I don't normally go live on my page, but I'm trying to mix it up a little bit in 2023. So I just wanted to jump on here and share with you some lessons that I learned in 2023. So the first lesson I learned was action begets action. Because let's face it, when we are in a rut and we're overwhelmed and we don't take action, a lot of times that keeps us in that same cycle. So we're not moving forward. But oftentimes, as soon as we take even just one step, that builds momentum and that gets us going and getting out of that rut. So action begets action. The second lesson I learned is that I can do hard things. And where that comes into play for me is at the end of last year, around October, I hired a book coach to help me revive my writing life. And I had a book that was already written that I've been working on for the longest time. And I was like, okay, I hired this coach who's gonna help me, get ready for next year. Just sort of all the things I need to put in place. And she's like, is the book written? Yes. And then she's like, well, just publish it this year, before the end of the year. And I'm like, But the truth is, she challenged me and I did it. And I was able to get a book out before the end of the year from October, which for me was like, but it really proved to myself that I can do hard things. The third lesson I learned is that I need to release past failures. And what I mean by that is a lot of times when we try something and we fail at it, our nervous system reacts every time we try to do the same thing or do something similar. We want to that fear builds up in us and we either procrastinate or, we just don't take action. And that was the biggest thing for me and part of the reason why I stayed stuck for 5 years. And I learned that I just had to release that fear and realize that we're going to make mistakes and things are not going to work out the way we plan, because let's face it, we know it, but that doesn't stop our body from reacting and from us not taking the action that we need. So that was one of the biggest lessons that I learned, is just to release that fear so that I can move forward. The next lesson I learned is life can change in an instant. And this is so true, because last year I was just like, I couldn't see a way out. Everything in my life was going wrong. My car was constantly breaking down and just tons of things that were just going wrong. And suddenly, like within the first 3 months of 2023, so many things changed. I moved to Tampa, I got a new job, I was making more money, I was able to buy a new car, and it was just like within less than a year, all of these things happened. So it was a great reminder to myself that things change is inevitable. Nothing ever stays the same, even though it doesn't feel like that when we're in the midst of it. So the next lesson I learn the lesson so you can move on. Oh my goodness. A lot of times, and I like to use this analogy, when the lessons come, a lot of times we don't see them as the same lesson. Like for instance, we realize we're dating the same person, they're just different faces. And at the time that we're dating them, we don't realize that it's the same person, right? And the same is true with our lessons that keep coming up and the things that are keeping us stuck. We don't realize that this is the same lesson coming in a different package, and until we learn that lesson and take it with us, that's gonna keep us from moving forward. So that is a great lesson that I learned, and just letting it go, and it's made a world of difference in my life for 2023, and I'm definitely taking that with me in 2024. Which leads me to the next lesson, is things are always working out in my favor. Now, it doesn't seem like it when you're going through those tough lessons. It just feels like everything and everyone is against you, right? Everyone is out to get you. Nothing is going your way. But the truth is, when we learn those lessons and we move forward, we realize that those lessons were actually there to help us. So that is something that's really, really, really important. And that to remind ourselves that even though when things don't necessarily seem like they really are always working out far better. And the last lesson is that I am good enough to receive everything that is there waiting for me, everything good that is waiting. Because a lot of times when we're in fear, we just feel like nothing is coming, and then we feel that it's something that we've done, that we didn't do right, or something that's, going wrong. We feel like it's our fault. When the truth is that these are just lessons. This is part of life. And when we are able to work through those lessons and realize that, we deserve the good things that are waiting for us and the good things that happen to us. So that is some of the lessons that I learned. I just realized that none of them are really directly related to writing, but that's okay. I think writing-wise, some of the things that I learned is that things are not always as hard as they seem. And we can find that out when we try. Because a lot of times when we're writing a book and it just seems like we're never going to get to the end, when the truth is a lot of times if we dig in and take that time and spend that time with our stories, with our characters, that we find a solution and we're able to move forward and get that book out, which is what happened with me last year. I think that's the biggest lesson that I learned, is that we can do hard things and we can do what we need to do to create the kind of writing life that we want and achieve what we want. And that just takes sometimes small steps, learning the lessons that we need to learn in order to move forward. I think that works with our writing life as well too, because how many times do we make the same mistakes and we keep working on the same book, the same story? Guilty. When in fact we just need to really, finish it off, put it out in the world and let it go, and start on the next book and the next book and the next book. I think that is something that is a lesson that I learned at the end of this year that I'm taking with me for next year. So I hope you found these lessons valuable. Like I said, they're not all directly related to writing, but I always like to say that some of the foundational things within ourselves that we need to work through is really what helps us with our writing lives and helping us to achieve what we want for our writing life. So they're all interconnected. So if you would like to learn more content, I want to encourage you to check out my YouTube channel. I'll leave the link here. I always share videos here as well too, but if you are looking to start off the new year and really dive in and get serious about your writing life, I want to encourage you to check out the YouTube channel, and I share a lot of content that will help you with setting goals for yourself, as well as creating a writing routine if that's something you struggled with, and a lot of other things that help you with creating the kind of writing life that you want. First at the top of the list is to finish writing that book. Okay, so like I said, I'll leave the link below, and I hope to do more live videos here on the page for you in the new year. What lessons did you learn in 2023 that you're taking into 2024? I'd love for you to share them in the comments with me. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.